Panchami, first day of spring in Vrindavan. Deities ki yellow dressing చేస్తారన్నమాట. Yellow dresses చేస్తారు. So everybody dresses in yellow, all the deities. So I just want all of you to take darshan of our deities in yellow. So it's Govinda dressed in yellow, Lakshmi Narsingadev dressed in yellow. So first day of spring, even if you take darshan of Mayapur Vrindavan deities, they are all dressed in yellow color today. So because this is Vasanta Panchami, today is Vasanta Panchami, first day of spring. So this is Haridas Thakur, and then thank you so much for all of you. It's a live stream. Sing, Parikshit, sing. Yeah, sing.
Today we will discuss about Vrinda Devi Tulsi based on devotees' desire. So I was not prepared, but whatever I remember, I just wanted to share. Maybe some other time we can go in detail, but you will understand in essence. There was different stories, different versions of this story. So this is based on what I heard. Since we are on the live, I want to make sure. Is this absolute? I don't know. Okay. We'll talk about it. So you all know who's Tulsi? It's a plant. You know plant Tulsi.
Tulsi Devi, right?
Holy basil, that's what they say in English, but you know. So Tulsi Maharani. So it's a devotee of Krishna. Now let's everybody sit. Just no talking, just a few minutes. So let's meditate on this. Yeah, let's meditate. So Tulsi Maharani, we all have the beads, right? So we chant on Tulsi Maharani, and then we worship Tulsi every day. So we call pastime happen, Radha Krishna pastimes happen in Vrindavan. So what is Vrindavan?
Vrinda Devi stays.
Vrinda means Tulsi. Tulsi one means forest. So forest of Tulsi everywhere. And in entire Vrindavan, she facilitate Radha Krishna pastimes. Radha Krishna pastime intimately. So that's the role of Tulsi. So before we go a little deep, but who is she? So Vrinda Devi Tulsi Maharani is the expansion of Radharani. So Radharani, who is she? She's Divine Mother, and then expansion of Krishna in the feminine potency, and then male is Krishna, feminine is Radharani. So they are one person, two people. So there's a Madhurya Bhav between Radha and Krishna. So there are so many gopis, so many manjaris. Like there are so many types of divisions in Vrindavan. Like close, more closer. Ultimately, the closest to Krishna is the one and only is Radharani.
So she's also in Gopi too?
We can call Gopi, but she's the best of the Gopi at the top. In spiritual, there is no gradations. It's like if you say this finger is, how do you know it's a short or long unless you bring something? So in this material world, manifestation of relative world. Like it's a cold, there's a heat. There's a pleasure, there's a pain. So everything dualities. But in spiritual is a transcendental. So we cannot compare and compete. The concept of competition and comparison only happens in material world. You can come this way. So in the spiritual world, when you say Krishna is one without second, there is no second there. At the same time, when Radharani is the topmost of Gopi, so it's a topmost when you express, it's only way of expressing. It's not like when you say here the topper. So that mentality of expressing top is not there in spiritual because there is no competition, there is no comparison. So that's material realm. So in that perspective, just to communication for our discussion perspective, so she's the best of the devotees. She's the top devotee, and then she's very intimate to Krishna, and then nobody can serve like Radharani to Krishna, and Krishna loves her, and Radharani loves him. So this facility, so she arranges even in the spiritual world what kind of atmosphere and what kind of a weather, what kind of a place, what kind of a setting is needed, which brings Radha Krishna together. That gives a pleasure to them, that gives a convenience, and it's like so that they can do the pastime. So all setup is done by Tulsi Maharani. Who is she? She's the expansion of Radharani. So why? Because Radharani wants to serve Krishna, she expands herself as so that she can. And Radharani also, in time to time, what happens? What she thinks, there are so many people better than me, so you serve Krishna. She also sent. So she's a better. She is so great, a divine mother and compassionate. Sometimes she also understands other living entities, also wants to serve Krishna. She also push other gopis, you serve. But they want to serve those who serve in Krishna. This is Radharani. But sometimes she also, at the same time, she also keeps unique. position where she only served Krishna in that bhav. So same when she expands as Rukmini, but is in a submissive. When she herself as Radharani, she's like a demanding sometimes. Like Krishna, he plays a lot of pranks on him, so he also plays pranks on her. So there is a to keep that the sweetness, rasa, madhurya, whatever is needed, she will do it. But she does it without any expectations. And then that reason Krishna also cannot understand how she can serve. To experience how she serves, while she serves, how much pleasure she derives, Krishna has to come to like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says that one time in Vrindavan, and then one pastime, Krishna dressed like Radharani. She smiles, she laughs. You dress like Radharani, but you cannot have Radha Bhav. What is that? How can I explain? You can never understand. I'm God. He's Supreme Personality of God. He can do anything, everything. But he cannot understand the way we serve you, because you are a servant. You are a master. We are a servant. The servant to the service take more pleasure than the master. To understand that, you have to be like me. You cannot imitate me. To understand how Radharani missing Krishna.
No, but Radharani is the expansion of Krishna.
Yes, that's a feminine. There's a one person expansion. So that's a transcendental. So male, when the God male is a Krishna, when the same God becomes a feminine, Radharani. They are one and but at the same time they are separate. Two one soul, two bodies. At the same time they are separate. It's called Achinta Beda Beda Tattva. Oneness and
కృష్ణ
same.
తెలియాలి కదా ప్రభు మరి అట్లాంటి
So that's the reason he said he can try anything. Because when Krishna walks away from Mathura to Mathura from Vrindavan, so she's feeling separation. But he's having other duties like Yada Yada Hidanmasa, he has to provide, take care of all the things. But she feels separation. That separation so intense. She talks to bumblebees. If you read in Bhagavatam, then she will talk to air. She will talk to
Rakshiti Golu.
So, she talks to air, she talks to trees, she talks to this. Did you see Krishna? Did you see? So, no matter what Krishna can understand her, she cannot. So that he has to. That's the reason he just put the bindi. He wore a dress and become like a Radha to show her. He says, "Smile, no, you can never be. You don't understand the pain. Because we are not living in the same place. How much I miss you." So that's called Vipralamba, separation. There's another called, when they come together, it's called Samyoga. That's a union. While they're union, they forget the time. The time sees out. But however, then the time comes and the sun about to rise, and then she knows, then Krishna has to leave. And then in that she goes into Vipralamba. She thinks that Krishna is already gone. Oh, Krishna has already left. She's gone. Where is he? How I'm going to suffer? How I'm going to live? This is very high topics beyond my understanding. But however, I'm just.
కూడా చెప్తారు కదా ప్రభు రాధారాణి కృష్ణ వస్తలేడు సో ఒకవేళ నేను చనిపోయినా కానీ నా బాడీ ట్రీకి హ్యాండ్ చేయండి బట్ నా ఐస్ మాత్రం ఉంచండి so that I can see.
Yeah, there's so many pastimes.
Yeah.
The same in the same context. Then that's reason. So how do I understand you? He can never understand, but you can try to understand. So that's reason he came as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is a golden form in the mood of Radharani. We're going to discuss these pastimes in next month before Gauda Purnima. So there is the internal reasons and the external reasons. 3 internal reasons and 3 external reasons. But internal reasons to experience what she. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there with a total 48 years. So 18 initially Adi, 18 Madhya, 18 years is Antya Leela. Last 18 years of Antya Leela, he pretty much lived in secluded places, very, very close associates in Jagannath Puri, and then he experienced Radha Bhav. Sometimes he stumbles, sometimes he falls down, his hands goes like this in the feeling of Radharani. He's Krishna, but the Bhav of Radharani. So now he's feeling separation from Krishna as Radharani. So what she went through, eyes become pale, and the tongue cannot twist, and then he's crying, hair stands up, he doesn't have hair because of shake head. What are the hair he had? Silicas stood on the head. And then, like, there's so many Astabhava siddhis he experienced, and sometimes he just goes and jump into ocean, sometimes jump into the well, and then he doesn't know what is he doing. So all these symptoms is clearly explained. These are the some of the things on the surface is scratched. To understand what is Radharani's love, that's the reason supreme. There is only one person who can love Krishna. That's the reason we can say she's the only person. And Krishna even he can never repay me.
But why Radha married other person?
Yeah, I'm coming there. So this is how Radharani's place. So when Vrindavan, when Krishna left to Mathura and then eventually Dwaraka, Hastinapur, all those things, so she has to get married because they were not married. For example, you're a young boy, you fall in love with a girl, and then the girl fall in love with you. You both are frequency matched, and you liked each other. But right now you're cannot be together because not married yet. You are at your home, she's at their home. But you're always thinking about her. What is she doing? What time she get up? What is she eating? What is she going to wear? When I'm going to meet her, she's going to thinking about the same thing, 24 hours. Like in the sleep, even before you could call. Nowadays you have videos, all those things. And there is nothing that people used to write letters and all those things. But finally, your parents agreed. Okay, now let's marry them. So arranged marriage. So you got married. Now you got an apartment, a house, you're living together. So now, what you wanted, that's what you got it. Is that the same once you get married? What is the difference? That's what you wanted. When you're separate, you're thinking about so close. Now you're so close. But what happened? Familiarity breeds contempt. So now you started seeing negatives in her, and she started finding something, and eventually there is a little argument. Love is there. Arguments also comes. Disappointments happens. Difference of opinions happens. So that's the reason when Radha and Krishna want to retain that Madhuri Bhav, they never get married. When they marry, they become Ram and Sita. They become Vishnu and Lakshmi. Lakshmi Narayan. So the same people, but the bhav is different. That's a Vatsalya bhav. But when it comes to Madhuri Bhav, only with Radharani. So to retain that, to exhibit that, and also experience that, so they never get married. But then who married Radharani? Is called Abhimanyu. So who is he? Naturally, nobody cannot touch Radharani. It got to be Krishna. Yes, it's a Krishna expansion. Nobody can. Radharani is so pure. Nobody cannot touch. Even other day we were discussing about Ravana. Ravana cannot even touch Sita. So who can touch Radharani? So it's an expansion of Krishna. So, but they married, but they were never together to the world. So, but Krishna still night times comes to Vrindavan. He meets her.
But why Prabhu Krishna will come as Abhimanyu there and Jatila Kutila?
Yeah, there are so many stories. Just a drama. It's all drama. Pastimes to increase the pastimes. Like if you eat every day morning pizza, afternoon pizza, evening pizza for whole week and whole year. Can you? Nobody. So what happened? You need some enthusiastic, at the same time some change in the mood. So this reason these are the leelas happens. When these leelas happens, so it adds a little bit more flavor, like drama. So that's a different thing. So you got that point. Now coming back to Tulsi Maharani. That's what the story today. So we're going to talk about Mahabharata next week. So more people. Today we're going to talk. So now one day Radha and Krishna, they were together in Golok Vrindavan, and then now they do the pastimes like any other day. So sometimes the gopis also comes when Radharani is not there. So one day Tulsi Maharani is another associate of Krishna, comes and spend time with Krishna. So one day Tulsi Maharani comes to Krishna and spending time. So that time Radharani was not there. So Radharani also sometimes get angry because she demands. She, at the same time submissive. At the same time, in the love sometimes they also argue and fight out of love. So when she came and that time she wanted to be with Krishna alone, but she saw Tulsi and then she cursed. Why she cursed her is in Golok Vrindavan. It's a pastime. When she get angry, supremely divine, merciful, but still sometimes,
రాధారాణి పిలిచారు.
yeah. So then what happens? She got offended. She got upset. She also cursed both of them. So you both cannot be together. You can never get married. Yeah. So then that pastime has to happen. That's the reason when they came here, they never get married. So for everything there is a reason, because Krishna is ultimately supreme controller. So he's setting up for pastimes in the
What is the
future.
cause of రాధారాణి ప్రభు తులసి మాత?
So you take birth in the material world. You cannot be. So now she cursed, okay, even material world, when you go there, then you can never get married. So they curse each other. So that has to happen. So now when Tulsi Maharani took birth in this material world as one of the king's daughter. I forgot the name. One of the king's daughter name. And then that king wanted to have a daughter like Radharani. That was his desire.
Oh,
So now his desire is fulfilled through this path. So now he got Tulsi Maharani as daughter, and then now right from childhood she was so happy, and she's growing up, and eventually she came to the marriageable time, and then she also did a lot of austerities. So they marry other king. He's actually is a good person, but it's like in a demoniac dynasty. So his name is Jalandhar. So if I remember correctly, so he's but she served him as a wife, a nice wife and husband, their relation, and then they're living together happily. But in some stories I heard he is none other than Sridhama, Krishna's friend. Krishna's friend in spiritual world. So there's a lot of pastime happened, like that he also got cursed from Radharani. Then eventually he is expansion of Krishna, of course. So Jalandhar marry Tulsi Maharani. They will be getting. But however, he is supremely controlled, supremely powerful, and then the demons, he supports a demon. So all the demigods, they were afraid of him, and then they could not do anything what they wanted to do. So now they wanted to get rid of this person, but nobody cannot defeat him. There is an entire story description how the war between all the demigods headed by Shiva and then Shiva's son Kartikeya, and then so many days nobody cannot defeat. Including it, they're so powerful. He's so powerful, and then nobody cannot defeat him, because everybody is thinking, why we, with almighty power we cannot defeat Jalandhar. So they said, because his wife is chaste, Tulsi. Unless until her chastity is violated, which she will not, nobody cannot, because her power empowered him as a shield. As long as she is like that, and that's the reason wife and husband is very important, chastity, and then also these principles are very important. And then now, but who can violate? This is Tulsi, pure devotee, and then they all went to Vishnu. So Vishnu is the savior for everything. So now they did have a plan. So now when the war was going on, this war was beautifully explained. So many arrows he's throwing, they're throwing this astra, that astra, counteracting. This is a beautiful explanation. Pages, volumes of details was mentioned. Who's fighting what strategy, what astras, and how do you fight with other astras to counteract that. So when that is going on, in the meantime, he is in the battlefield. So now Vishnu comes home in the form of Jalandhar. So she don't know who is, she could not recognize. So when that happened, they unite together, and then that's how Vishnu violated her. She didn't know. So when eventually she found out, then that's the reason she found out, and then he revealed his form, Vishnu. And that's why she cursed. Nobody will worship you, you'll become a stone. You become Salagramsila. And then now that's the reason there is no temple for Vishnu as such. So that I made the big story into small story.
But they worship Saligram Shila, right?
And then eventually, of course, they worship Shalagram Shila. But who's doing all these things? This is a Krishna's plan. It's ultimately Krishna's pastimes and Leela. What is that? Ye tamam prapattante tam stateva bhajamyam. He also yadyad yatariti chesa tattat eva turjaya sayat pramanam kusta lokastat anvatati. We talked about this today, third chapter. So to set a great example, Krishna comes, he said, so common people can follow. So sometimes these pastimes we cannot understand.
Yeah, if you say to come up with this, like,
Yeah.
they don't like this.
Which
That
one?
fast time. Like, Vishnu coming in.
Yeah, this kind of pastimes also, it's not for a public debate, a public discussion. So it's only possible among the devotees who have a like-minded mentality, who accepted Krishna as a supreme, who accepted Krishna as a God. Once you accept Krishna as a God, the God cannot do wrong. If you do wrong, he's not God. If he does something, that means I may not understand. I may not understand, but one day, by his mercy, I may understand. But right now, how do I understand? So that's what we can learn. Look, there's so many examples, like why did Sita send pregnant woman? Ram sent pregnant woman Sita to forest. Like that, there's so many things are there. Why did Dronacharya cut off the finger of Ekalavya? And there are some stories. This atheists and some other people who do not have proper understanding. They use this as a weapons
Yes.
to counteract.
Even though they understand right when, but when it comes to the public domain, they projected negative views to them.
Yeah.
So that we don't know about what's happening inside it, right? People can make an opinion of this. Oh, this is not and that.
This is not religion, this
Yeah.
and that. They make.
There is no information, valuable information, knowledge in that one. So these are all trash kind of stuff. They intentionally influence the people's mind.
And also there is a reason Krishna also does voluntarily, so that there is something for other people to also, because he's Supreme God, and then he also facilitate. What he says? He stays in her heart. From him comes remembrance, forgetfulness, and also what is that verse? Sarvasya chaham huda sannavisto matta smriti gnanam apohanam cha.
Knowledge.
So from me comes remembrance and knowledge and forgiveness. Because why they want to forget him? They wanted a reason. They want some reason, so the Krishna facilitate. So that's reason there's some atheist, and then to confuse the people, Krishna also does that. So if we all think we are a cheater, he's the greatest cheater. Krishna says in Gita.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I think I'm cheating you, so I can feel, but he cheats me that I didn't even know that somebody's cheating me. Yes.
Why did Ram send Sita to forest?
That's one topic. We'll talk about it in detail. Remember that question.
Yeah.
So because that's pastimes of Ram. I'll just say quickly. Pastime of Ram. Sita has a desire.
Oh.
She asked him. She wanted. That's one. And second thing is that he did not send to abandon. A lot of people think it's not abandoned. It's still same city but outskirts to Valmiki ashram. She spent.
Yeah. Someone said lies about Sita.
Yeah. And also same thing here, Vipralamba. Between Ram and Sita to experience what Radharani and Krishna had Vipralamba, separation. So that's the reason they were separated. There's so many. There are so many facets for absolute truth. So different
Where they
dimensions.
mentioned is Vrindadevi pastimes too.
Huh?
Where they mentioned is
Padma Purana, Vaivata Purana, Skanda Purana, very detailed. So some place it says Jalandhar. So in another place it says a different name. So anyway, coming back to the story. So then what happened? Then she cursed him. So now what happened? She lost her chastity. So now there the demons losing the power, headed by him, and eventually Shiva and then the demigods killed him. I don't remember exactly who killed him, Shiva or Kartikeya, or Vishnu went back and killed him. So then he got killed. So then eventually she understood this is Vishnu himself, and then she asked forgiveness. and eventually Krishna, Vishnu blessed her. So you will become a plant.
No, she knows, right, that he is Vishnu, and then that's the reason why she curses him, right, Prabhu?
Yeah. Then eventually after that, then she cools down, and Vishnu explains. And then she gives a benediction. So you will become a holy plant, Tulasi. So live in Vrindavan. So then you will facilitate all these things, pastimes between devotees and me, and gopis and Radharani. So then you will be called as a Vrindadevi. So that all these things happens. So everything there's a link. So it's a chain. So we don't understand, but in principle, if you can try to understand and pray, and Krishna will reveal one day. So then, right now we may understand as a theory, but one day it can be very practical, where we can, it's relatable and we can experience.
Prabhu, is Vishnu and Lakshmi Narayana is different or same? Because they worship Narayana, to Lakshmi
Same.
Narayana.
Vishnu, Narayana is same.
So they usually there are murtis in Prabhu.
Where there is no Vishnu temple.
Vishnu temple is not Lakshmi Narayana.
The Swaminarayan temple, Gujarat is right.
No, that's a different. The Swaminarayan is not the deity, it's the guru there.
It's like
It's Guru. Oh, it's not
But
Krishna.
they do have
Narayana.
Lakshmi
I
Narayana.
thought
There are so many concoctions also there. There are so many concoctions. But in general, Vishnu incarnation is worshipped as in India is the Varahadev, Nrsimhadev, Balaji, Ram. So their expansions. Huh?
Ranganath Swami.
Ranganath Swami.
Vital.
There's so many things, but there is no Vishnu. Yeah, they're all Vishnu only, but that's not a Vishnu four-armed form Vishnu. The temple like that. But they are expansions.
Oh, okay, that.
Six also like that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So usually in pictures you see Vishnu laying like this with his arm like this. But they say he holds 4 things. How does he do that?
So when the god eats all day is Jagannath. When God sleeps is Anantashesh. When God taking rest is Ananta Padmanabh or Ranganath. Like that, when God dances is like a Krishna. So they're the same person but the different pastimes. So different.
Same like us. He'll sometimes sit, sometimes sleep, sometimes eat, right? So
Where are we getting those symptoms? Where are we getting those intuitions?
Venkateshwar Swami, he will hold that, right? Venkachakra Gadadhar.
The person who has a lot of money exhibit this Kali Yuga is actually Lord Balaji.
And Balaji.
And now, of course, Lord Padmanabhan
Yeah.
is taking over, seems.
Mm-hmm.
It's more
Wealth.
richest
Right.
temple because so much
Not temple is richest, but when it comes to Balaji,
opulence.
the income is higher than.
Yeah, opulence is was even Prabhupada also said we should learn a lot of things from Tirupati and Tirumala for organization, cleaning. So that's that. Yeah, so that's how the story Tulasi. So, but ultimately Tulasi is Vrinda Devi, and then she facilitate pastimes between Radha and Krishna, and they started from Golak Vrindavan to come all the way to material world to so that we all can discuss, and then so that we can also get benefit.
Tulsi came out with the ashes of Tulsi Maharani.
What is that?
Tulsi plant came up from the ashes, I heard.
Oh, I did not hear. But when Vishnu gave the benediction, she transformed from material her female body into a plant. So now she expands her wherever she can serve Krishna. So it's an amazing. One Krishna is one without second. That means one Krishna has everything. Whatever we see, we don't see. It belongs to Krishna. But Tulasi plant has so many leaves. With one leaf, she can purchase Krishna. And she has so many leaves. Yes, what is the role? What is the place Krishna gave it to her?
Without her, we cannot do anything.
Yeah, he will not eat anything without Tulasi.
Not only that, you can worship also.
Everything Tulsi.
with
And just one Tulsi we got Krishna, period.
Yeah.
So now she has so many Tulsis.
ఎందుకంత ప్రయారిటీ?
That's the devotion, that much love she has, that much service attitude she has it. So, as we discussed last week, our Chaitanya, not Chaitanya Prabhu, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu was saying 3 kinds of suffering happens. Like, you know, what is the first kind? Karma. What we did, whether good or bad, we suffer. Second of karma is the devotees, practicing devotees. That's for purification. They may not have karma, but Krishna brings that situation such as that people suffer so that they can come close to Krishna. The third kind of suffering is the pure devotees, for purification. Not purification, glorification. Karma, purification and glorification. Pandavas did not have any bad karma. Tulsi didn't have a bad karma. But to glorify them, the Krishna does these pastimes so we can discuss, so that we can get benefit. So we have some reason to discuss, we can get purification, and they also get, we can glorify. So we understand, oh, this is what that set the bar, what is that? Like, you know, we discussed about Prahlad Maharaj last week. And we also discussed about Amrish Maharaj. So what is a devotee means? Just imagine a lady, if you know of that, as soon as she gives birth, somebody kills that. That she get pregnant, that she will get any pregnant in front of, as soon as she gives the birth,
శంకర మహాప్రభు గురించి చెప్తాను.
Devaki.
Devaki.
So now she knows Krishna is going to be the 8th, but who will go through the pain? Arey Baba chodo, I don't want to do this. No, they willingly go. Even the pain is that they will not say no. That is the reason they became father, mother, brother, because Radharani, like, you know, she can do all those things. So all we cannot imitate them. We can only aspire and appreciate. We can aspire and appreciate so that one day, in principle, we can also try to do within our own limits wherever we are. That's the greatness of bhakti. There is also sweetness of bhakti. That's what we discussed in the Damodar Leela. Krishna God is great, but how great he is, we don't know. So, all great, which is extraordinary personality, he becomes ordinary person, so that ordinary persons like us, like me, we can also relate. So then it will become a sweetness. Like, you know, we're sitting here, suddenly Modi comes here. He sit with us and then talk to us. Or like, let's say president, for example, and he's with us. So he's a great person. Then what happens? He forgot for some times. He's a great person. Then he become a sweet. We talk, joke. How is that? So same thing when Krishna does these pastimes, he's bringing us also to that platform. He's sharing that sweetness. These are nice to understand. And what happens when we discuss? Then our karma will be, and then number of births we're supposed to take will be erased. And there's a default benefit, but we develop the love for Krishna. And then we understand who we are. Then our relationship with, we have 2 kinds of relationship. One is horizontal relation with all the living entities. And one is vertical relation with Krishna. When that established, other relations also rectify, make sense. If this is gone, all other relations is temporary. But if all those relationships based on the vertical relation with Krishna getting strong, then it makes sense. So that relation through bhakti, it will become stronger, strongest, and there is no end. So the same thing here, Radharani is trying to please Krishna. Krishna is so pleased, and he is so happy. And then now Krishna is trying to please Radharani, and then she pleases Radharani, and then she is so happy, and it goes on. There is no end. There is no limit, and there is no end. You can go. That's the reason there is no, like, you know, when you drive a car on the floor, like, you know, there's a friction with the brakes. How much fast you can go, there's a limit. But if you go on, if there is no media where something is holding you, like a tire and road, but there is no limit. You can go as fast as you can. There are some airplanes which is and Vedic theology, and then those they go with the speed of the mind. Right now I say I want to be in Golok Vrindavan. That's it. You're there. Speed of the mind. As soon as I say the word, sound is like sound. I want to go to India right now. Okay, you can be supersonic jet, and it may take a few hours to get there. The sound of the wind, sound of the light. Fast of the speed of the light, and the speed of the mind much higher. Who came? Okay. So that's that. What else? Yeah. So that's the story in brief. Tulsi Maharani, she's doing Golok Vrindavan, associate of Krishna, very close to Radharani. Is an expansion of Radharani because of his pastimes and curses, and then she became a client, and eventually married to Jalandhar, and then he was supporting demons, and then they had to fight against demigods. So to win a war, so they have to chastise, violate her chastity. So who can do that other than Krishna? So then Vishnu comes, he does that, and eventually the war ended. He defeated, and then he's dead, and then eventually he gives her, and then she cuts him, and then he blesses. So she became a holy plant, and then now she comes to Vrindavan, and then she facilitates the pastimes between Radha and Krishna and the devotees. So
she, in Golok, does she also facilitate in the Golok?
yes, Golok also she facilitates.
So I missed this piece, Prabhu. What was the curse that Vrindadevi gives to Radharani and Radharani gives to
Vrindadevi cursed to Radharani that you will never be married. So that's good. Like somebody cursed Narada, which is who is that? Daksha. So you can never stay in one place. So thank you. So in other words, it's not a curse. This is the blessings to initiate some pastime.
He tried to park in the driveway. After parking, car went.
Then?
Yeah, it will.
Got hurt?
No, because I just helped him to park it on this side.
Okay. So that's that. But I want to tell my own personal one thing happened. You want me to share?
Please.
So this is very, very sweet. This is my own personal thing. In 2004, we went to Vrindavan. Rajabhakti, myself, Narahari. Narahari is only 3 years old. So that time, it's the 3 weeks, 1 month trip. My parents also doesn't know till now that we went there and directly came here. I'm telling it now.
Tomorrow morning will come.
2003 we went to, he's telling in live stream.
That's good. This I'll send a video.
Everybody watches.
So we went to Vrindavan. Anyway, we went to Vrindavan. We was there at the Yatra. So one day, one place. There's 3,000 or 4,000 devotees were there. One day Govardhan, one day Varshana, one day Nandagram, one day this, that, all those things. So one day we went to Sakisthal. We spoke about, Maharaj spoke about Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and then Lalita temple, and then after there was a mountain is there. All the things are done. So by then, I was started walking without shoe because I didn't want, because I saw some devotees. But since living in America, our foot was very sensitive, so they started developing this burning sensation. And that particular place where a lot of stone pebbles were there, I was walking. It's very difficult. It's already started burning and it became a red. I don't know, somehow or other I'm dragging. And then as those roads are not soft roads, and it has the pebbles in a tar road, the Kankarandanga. So fail off. I don't know how to walk. And then we had to walk. The program is over. Now we have to walk to nearest the bus, and then from bus we had to go to different place that day evening. So that destination is Vrindadevi's temple. But right now, after that, Lokanath Maharaj temple was there and the pastimes happened, I was walking, I didn't know what to do. So difficult, there's hundreds of people. On top of that, Narahari, sometimes I had to carry him. There is so much of luggage there. And then there is no shoe, there is no chappals walking there. And I didn't tell anybody. Somehow or other I was just pushing. And all of a sudden, there was one bike came. He looked at me, I looked at him.
India for.
And then I just communicated, and I sat on that. Then he carried me. He carried me to that bus, and then I got in the bus. And then I said somehow, got
You are not
Safe.
there, Ratash.
Yeah, that was I was.
See, ladies walk separately, men walk separately.
They know, they see the bus, but they're far away. It's not like far away. They see the bus where they are. We're all walking, but it's a distance. Maybe, for example, if you like, half a mile, you can see all the buses are there, but we have to walk. Everybody knows where they're going. We know the bus number 36. We are 136, if I remember correctly. So we had to go and sit. We know our seats. So I sat there, and then finally she came, and then we all went. And then after that, we reached Vrinda Kun, and that's where the Vrinda Devi temple is there. Vrindavan, so many. But to get to the core of the temple, buses all cannot go. There's the 40 buses. All buses has to park somewhere, and we have to walk again. And as we're walking again it's the same. And then thousands of people has to walk, and then I was just somehow or other. We not reached there yet, so that the road is also not very clear. And then again I was like dragging. This time a tractor came. Just imagine in India, sometimes tractors have open place in the backside, and the tractor came, and then a lot of devotees actually jumped on it. And I also jumped on it. So finally it took me to the main temple entrance. When I landed there, Prabhu, the ground there is like a butter. Soft butter or a soft sand. And it gave me so soothing. The entire Brindakund place was so soft. And then pain is gone. I don't even feel anything. I was just walking nicely. And then finally reached there, and then there's a 3,000, 4,000 people. Brindakund temple is this room.
Whoa.
Temple, only this room. They are allowed 5 or 7 people at a time.
Oh my God.
And they come out, and the other people go. 3,000 people, how many times it takes? Just before that is a Brindakund. And everybody goes there, and then they take water and then put it on the head. And then out of Vrindavan, this is a Brindakund. And in that, people dip their beads, tulsi beads, just to worship, to get blessings. So we also went there, we dipped our beads there, and then came out. And then our turn came. When our turn came, when we went inside, Rajabhakti Narhari, Radhana Somara was also the same time. It is Chandramauli Maharaj, Radhana Somara, 2 sannyasis, and also there is another devotee, the devotee who's Dinabandhu Prabhu. So those 3 and a few of us. There's nobody else. I felt so happy, felt like very special. How she's treating me, sending the people, somehow or other, she understands, so insignificant. In spite of that, she took care of personal care. And then that's amazing. I cannot fathom. Till today, every day I remember this, whenever I see. Every day morning when I do Tulsi Arati, I remember this. How many years passed? 18 years passed.
18 years.
She's so personable. And then I was there, I was looking at her, and that photo what we have, there's nobody in the world. The deity,
She's the original
Vrinda Devi, that photo, and then we got that from the devotee of Vrinda Devi. And that photo is, the deity is gone, and then later
deity
it
was
was stolen. It got replaced.
Why?
We don't know. Past times we don't know. So that deity was there. I was looking at her and I was looking at Maharaj. It's everybody wants to be with his spiritual master. And then that day, it was close in that room, looking at him, looking at her. It was very intimate. So that is done. Then we all came out. So now we all have to spread around. There's 3,000, 4,000 people spread around. And Maharaj sat in one place. Radha is giving the class. So after giving the class, and then some of the kids are there, so they make noise, right? Those are the kids, they get a little far away. But everybody have purchased the radios. So we tune into that. Wherever we are, we can see, but we can hear with the technology. So we can hear, we purchased the radio also, 50 rupees or 200 rupees that day. And we were hearing. And that somebody is translating in Gujarati, somebody is in Punjabi, somebody is in Hindi. Different groups, those who came, they will understand English, everybody. And then they also can tune that language.
They'll set a frequency for one
FM,
language.
FM.
Different set of frequencies for different languages. So when Maharaj is speaking, that English is one frequency, so you directly hear Maharaj. And then if we are speaking Telugu speaking person, there's Telugu translation, there's different set of frequencies.
Somebody else is talking to you.
Simultaneously, they are very expert. As he speaks, they are translating, right? As he speaks,
And they
keep
transmit.
translating in English, in Telugu, Hindi, everywhere.
So like that, just imagine it's like a big open place with the trees and tulsi everywhere. The temple is a little far away. We are all sitting in the courtyard, spread around. Groups, like so many groups. And then we also can see Maharaj on the big tree and he's giving the lecture. He gave 1 hour lecture. Then after that, this is very interesting part, which I cannot fathom till today. She's so merciful. And then now Maharaj got up. And then he started walking. Because he said that next speaker is Chandramouli Maharaj. So Chandramouli Maharaj sat there. He started talking, and Radhanasa Maharaj wanted to spread his legs, what do you call it? Stretch his legs, and then walk here and there. He was walking. Then we were sitting there, right behind his big tulsi plants. Prabhu, those leaves are so big, so huge, so green and fresh. And in that smell environment, the soft sand, nice weather.
See,
Just imagine.
We hear many times, the devotees in Vaikuntha Loka, when they go, they smell the tulsi. But we really don't smell here until we take here and do something here. But when we go to Vrindakun, the air smells tulsi.
Yeah. So we were sitting there, and then Narahari, he was playing. He was making some he playing with the sand. Rajabhakti is there. So many people. All if we were sitting like this, Maharaj started walking this way, zigzag, because he has to find a way between the little groups. We were walking. As he came close, I looked at him, and he has a beautiful and big garland, and the desire came. I wish I get that. What is the probability? And Maharaj went that side and this side. He was walking, directly came there. He just directly came in front of me. He looked at me, he removed the garland, he put it on me. I was just I was looking at Vrindavan far away. Oh, why me? Every Prabhu, he got the mercy. Maharaj smiled and walked away. And I don't know till today, of course, understand. Till today, that was one of the sweetest pastimes in Vrindavan. Since you asked about Tulsi, I was just telling even a little insignificant person like me, how she takes care of it. Even I didn't do any good things. But somehow she sent the bike person, and after she sent tractor, and then she invited me inside with Maharaj, and after that garland, and then it was an amazing.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Any other questions? Questions, comments? Daivik, is your time now to ask question.
No, I don't have any question.
Good, that's a question. Okay, good stop.